It's final time for OKN Senior. 22 laps is upon us for this final 27 kilometers. And what a day it has been for the entirety of the category. Heat 1 today was a dramatic one. Half the grid retiring from the race due to the rain that was falling down throughout that. But it would be Gazi Motlaka who would take the win for the senior category in both Heat 1 and Heat 2 today. A look at the category for drivers aged 14 to 18 years old. The entries up to 36, with only 28 running this weekend. There is still space. 17 nationalities from all corners of the globe join us this weekend. And for our drivers, they'll be running on the Kart Republic KR2 chassis. This time, the same engine as the juniors, but no restrictor on the exhaust. The full 35 brake horsepower and 15,000 RPM they'll be using. Minimum weight, 150 kilos, kart and driver. Again, they need to make sure they reach that. Any weight underneath that, even a gram less, and they could be disqualified from the race. The tyres that they'll be using for this race is the Vega XM4s. And this is the ultimate question. In the second qualifying heat earlier on, half the grid was on wets, half the grid was on slicks. This time, they're all on slicks. That's the ultimate question. Who looked after them the most in that second qualifying heat? The championship standings at the moment, it's Luna Flusha who leads it after winning the final yesterday, is leading by 12 points from Caras, who's there in second. Motlaka is third with 66 points from Pip Casabene with 60. Then it's Hugo Heron with the 57 and Maximilian Rafalek with the 52 in the top 6. It is a very close fight at the end of the second day for round 1, with still 5 more rounds to go. This is going to be one of the most exciting classes this year. The trolleys leave the grid, and let's go through the grid. It's Gazi Motlaka from Charles Lambert on row number 1. Motlaka winning both of the qualifying heats today. Felipe Caras and Daniel Perez, they go from row number 2. The driver from Colombia has looked so strong over the course of today. Zajeleski and Maximilian Rafalek, they go from row 3 and they round out the top 6. From Austin Gale, who was starting on the front row earlier on in the qualifying heats, has Jean Caras for company alongside. Luna Flusha, who won the final yesterday, will have the American Truly Adams for company as they round out the top 10 on row 5. Ella Latama and Romeo Nassar, they go from row number 6. Lachlan Hennock and Peyton Westcott round out row 7 after they've had a very tough day today. Pip Casabene, who was on the podium yesterday, has struggled today. He's got his fellow countryman Isaac de Melwyk alongside on row 8. Elizaveta Kozlova and Bernardo Bonaldi round out row number 9, again having some really tough races over the course of today. Kasper Bonda and Anastasia Gerasis round out the top 20 on row 10. Adam Seidel and Alessandro Biggie, who unfortunately had a retirement earlier on, he wants to fight back in this one after gaining so many places in his qualifying heat. Hugo Heron and Prix Trevino, who has not finished both of his races today, is really looking for a good result. We'll have Sophia Sanfari and Charlotte Page on row 13, just behind. The final row of the grid sees George Nassar and Marcus Shilkunas. Shilkunas, who started on the front row in the final yesterday, starts on the final row today. It shows how close and competitive this championship is and this class. But there, starting on pole position, the driver from Mozambique, Gazi Motlaka, in the 2:21 today. 2 qualifying heat wins, maximum championship points at the end of the qualifying heats. He gains 25 points to his name. Certainly showing some great skill in the wet conditions. The only question is can he maintain that momentum now, switching it over onto the slick tyres and on a dry circuit. Charles Lambert for France, starting on the front row. Again, had a very strong day today. 3rd in qualifying heat 1, and then it was a 3rd in qualifying heat 2 as well. So 2 races, gaining 5 positions. If he can maintain that momentum, he should be on the top spot at the end of this one. But Gazi Motlaka is certainly going to make that one a challenge. The driver starting on the inside of row number 2, Felipe Caras as well. What a day for Felipe, really showing some strong performance Didn't go fully well for him in qualifying Heat 1. He did gain 8 positions, but he finishes P10 after a post-race penalty. Qualifying Heat 2 was a little bit better, gaining those positions, but again, it just falling down the order just that little bit. It's been a tough day for all of our drivers, but for Callas, he has been in fighting form throughout it. For the rest of the field, though, it has been a brilliant day. For this man here from Colombia, Daniel Perez, what can we say? Really great results here for Daniel Perez. 7th in qualifying Heat 2 earlier on. Qualifying Heat 1, it was a P2 after gaining 5 positions. Really curious to see what the Colombian can do from the second row of the grid. Franciszek Cegielski from Poland goes from the 3rd row, and again, he's got that inside line. This is the ultimate track position you want to be in. You'll have that inside line, you have the momentum, he can follow Felipe Callas, he can follow Gazi Motlaka down in towards turn 1 and turn 2 on that inside line. He'll just have to contend with maybe Charles Lambert trying to send it across the track to try and defend that position. That's going to be the challenge he's going to have to deal with from that 3rd row of the grid. The same can be said for Maximilian Rafalik, this driver here who's got a nice cheesy grin on his face. Has had some good results today. Heat 1 was P4 after gaining 8 positions. Qualifying Heat 2, a little bit more shaky. 4 positions gained after a post-race penalty. He finished in P8 in qualifying Heat 2. There you can see the shadows of the 3 silos here at Cremona, probably the main landmark of the venue here, just over the final corner. And that actually has meant that there is a massive wet patch actually on the exit of the final corner for our drivers to have to contend with. There, Austin Gale from Thailand again today, really strong qualifying. First race though didn't go his way, retirement after a collision. The first one dropping down to P14 in that first race, but qualifying Heat 2 was much stronger, finishing P2 in that one. He starts this one on the inside of row number 4. Again, keep an eye on Austin Gale from Thailand, as well as this driver here, Jean Carras, the brother of Philippe Carras, who starts a little bit further ahead on the grid from France in the treble 2. Again, some really good results over the course of today. 9th in the qualifying Heat 2 earlier on. It's a little bit higher up, finishing P6 after gaining 10 positions in qualifying Heat 1 earlier on. So again, with those positions that he was managing to gain earlier on, can he maintain that momentum? But for this driver here, Luna Flusha from Spain, well, it's all down to her really on this one. The winner of the final yesterday, again, in the first qualifying heat today, was caught out in an incident through no fault of her own. Fortunately, nowhere to go. She tried to get it restarted. It didn't go her way. But the final yesterday was a fantastic drive, winning that one by over 6 seconds or 6.5 seconds. What can she do from that 5th row of the grid? We'll have the American Truly Adams starting alongside. It is going to be a tough fight for all of our drivers. And again, seeing a brief look at the marshals out on track, who have had a very long weekend, the same as all the drivers, mechanics, family and friends, the camera crews and the medical crews as well. Everyone putting in such hard work this weekend for the first opening round for the Champions of the Future Academy program. Whistle blows as we send the carts for their outlap to get everything up to temperature. All our drivers on brand new slicks. They will have not used these slicks over the course of today, apart from a handful who put them out earlier on in qualifying Heat 2. Earlier on, it was a brilliant start there for Felipe Callas, who took the win on that one. He had the slick tyres. Unfortunately for Gazi Motlaka, qualifying Heat 2, he did get a post-race penalty, unfortunately, so he didn't actually take the race win on that one, but he still starts this one on pole position, though. Really curious to see what he can do. But it was Felipe Callas who did adorn those slick tyres. Well, he will have put a whole race on those, so he might be a driver who struggles in this one. They'll still be in good condition, but compared to everyone else around him, he's on a slightly more used set than the rest. That's his only Achilles heel going into this one. For the rest of them, it's all just a case of what they could do in this final. 22 laps, 27-kilometer race distance. As again, well, I wonder if we can put the rain radar up, because the clouds have loomed over the circuit. They've sent the carts already. They're all on slicks. but I'm seeing some dark clouds that are looming over the circuit, and that shot there down into the turn 8 hairpin really shows where those clouds are coming from at the moment. I don't think there's much threat of rain in the air, but it certainly doesn't look too healthy compared to what we saw for the second round of qualifying heats today. We saw blue sky and sunshine, which was brilliant to see. Look, there we go. There's the rain radar. Well, there's a dash of rain around the local area, but it's not going to hit the circuit, so we might be okay for this final. And I think all the drivers can probably show a sigh of relief for that one as well. Well, here we go then. Into the final corner we go. It's Ghazi Motlaka from Mozambique who starts on pole position. Charles Lambert from France on the outside. What can they do as we get ready to go racing for this final? 22 laps under the cloud cover here in northern Italy, just outside the city of Milan. It's Cremona, and it's green flags, and away they go for Ghazi Motlaka. It's a great start, and again for Felipe Caras. The inside line works well. Zajelski up into a good position there as they all Constantine are up. A little bit of Constantine there. Austin Gale getting caught out there a little bit. Goes wheel to wheel now with Luna Flusha. They are side by side as they go through turn number 6. Just in the background there, you can see them as they go down into the hairpin. Gale going defensive. It's all kicking off into the hairpin of turn number 8, but it's Ghazi Motlaka who leads the way at the moment from a very close set of drivers just behind. Felipe Caras is there. Charles Lambert is there as well. Looks like Daniel Perez is there also. The 2-3-7 of Lambert is just trying to get round the inside. It's the 2-2-1 that's got through. It's Ghazi Motlaka is still there in that sort of top fighting spot. But it is, though, the race leader, Felipe Caras, who's on those slightly used slick tyres compared to the rest, is leading the way now and is leading by 1/10 of a second from Ghazi Motlaka in P2. Here, though, Zajelski is there in 3rd place. Lambert down into 4th as these 4 try and break away from the likes of Luna Flusha, who is there in P5. Luna Flusha did exactly this in the final yesterday, closed up what seemed to be an impossible gap, but managed to close up into the race lead. Can she do the same today? That is the ultimate question. As we go on lap 2 now, a change for 2nd place as Zajelski moves up into P2 and is fighting for that top spot now. Down the inside goes Lambert, and here comes Luna Flusha. She's caught up and she's into P4 now. Brilliant drive from Luna Flusha. She's up into P4 as she's gained 5 positions now in this race. Caras with 2 places gained. Zajelski with 3 places gained. Lambert, who's only dropped the 1, but is there in P3 right now and is under pressure. Right, Felipe Caras has broken away from the rest of the field. What can these drivers do here? Luna Flusha looking to the inside, wheel to wheel with Charles Lambert and gets through into P3. Fantastic overtake into the hairpin. Luna Flusha is on an absolute charge here. The winner of the final yesterday and looking to go for the win in this final today. Today didn't start well for Flusha, a retirement in qualifying heat 1. She's forgotten about that. That's in the past. Qualifying heat 2 was good, and now the final is going to be even better. Down in towards turn 1, it is Zajelski who is under pressure now from the Spaniard. And Flusha looks to the inside, not close enough just yet. Has to concede, it stays back. How close you want to get between these two here. Zajelski is not going to give any room for a move here for Luna Flusha. She is going to have to dig deep now into this one, and she's going to dig deep in towards turn number 8, sends it down the inside, exactly where she made the move done on Charles Lambert earlier on, and now she's up into P2. She is on fine form this weekend. The Mercedes F1 Junior driver really showing some great skill this weekend as she makes her way out of turn number 10. Now she's going for the race lead. She's closed in so quick on Felipe Caras here. Felipe Caras, who's checked over the shoulder and already seen, wow, how on earth did you get from the 5th row of the grid to P2 in just 5 laps? That's an incredible drive for Luna Flusha. She is on an absolute charge here. But can she keep up this momentum? Can she get past Caras? She is looking for maximum championship points here, if she can get it. She has worked so hard over this weekend, really pushing strong. So talented in these early stages. of the championship. And from anything we're seeing here, we're going to see more of it as down the inside, there it is for the race lead. It's Luna Flusha for Spain leading the way. And what an overtake. Absolutely nothing Felipe Caras could do there. He tried to defend it, but he left the gap open. And now Luna Flusha can go to work and open up the gap at the front of this field. Felipe Caras, though, in second place, is not going to give up this fight. Will stay there in second. It's changing behind. Gazi Mollica back up into third. Gets past Sejeleski. Lambert up into fourth as well. Sejeleski now down into P5 as they all fight for position here. Big lunges down the inside. Here comes Austin Gale. He's coming back. Pip Casabene is now getting involved as well in this fight. And all the meanwhile, they're going to lose time to the top two further up. Sejeleski again continuing to send it down the inside. Gazi Mollica, though, looking really strong here. And I think, has he got up into third place now? I think the answer to that is yes. No, Charles Lambert there in third place. It's Pip Casabene who's up into fourth place. Gazi Mollica was fighting for fifth with Maximilian Rafalik. Sejeleski's gone down to seventh place now in this race after he was in P2 in the early stages. There's the gap for second and first. Caras is just dropping off the back. Luna Flusha is driving away down the inside. Change for third place. Pip Casabene down the inside of Charles Lambert, and he gets back onto a podium spot. Pip Casabene yesterday finishing P2 from Hugo Heron. Hugo Heron suddenly nowhere to be seen in this top battling. He's currently in P11. The rest of the field, though, continuing to fight as we go on to lap number 8 now. 7 laps completed. It's Luna Flusha who leads the way from Felipe Caras. Pip Casabene from Charles Lambert in fourth place. Who's going to be on that final step of the podium right now for Pip Casabene? He looks on fine form to hold on to that top spot. But can any one of these drivers close in? Flusha leading now by 1 second. Eyes on this battle here. Mollica and Rafalik still battling line astern. Then it's Sejeleski and Romeo Nassar in P7 and 8. Hugo Heron there in P9. Ella Letama is there in 10th place. Brilliant drive for the Finnish driver. Is still in that equal spot, holding on to the position. Pip Casabene, though, in third place. Look at the stats there for Pip Casabene. Started this one P15 and is up into P3. That is a superb drive. 12 places gained as down the inside. Here comes Gazi Mollica back down the inside of Maximilian Rafalik and denies the chance to close up to Charles Lambert. Goes defensive in towards hairpin 8. And again, they will just constantly lose time here. Mollica, who's looking so strong in the qualifying heats in the wet conditions today, certainly will show good pace if we ever see it rain again. But right now in the dry, setup just not there right now. Just fading slowly in this, which is a big shame. He was looking so strong in the early stages of this weekend. Maximilian Rafalik certainly piling on the pressure. Here, though, Pip Casabene is not out of trouble just yet. That battle for third place, Charles Lambert has closed in once again. Oh, actually, no. Who's it? The 2-2-3. This is Caras. Pip Casabene is closing up to Felipe Caras here. This is the battle for second place. And here he goes, down the inside. Here comes Pip Casabene for Australia. And it doesn't work out on the exit. He loses it on the exit. Oh dear, off the track there. The 2-2-7. That's not gone well at all. And a retirement there for, I think that's Isaac de Melwyk. It is, from Australia, who started on the same row as the driver who's currently now battling for P2. Pip Casabene, who is there, and now who's trying to close in on Felipe Caras. And Caras has become aware of that now and has started to break away. This has brought Charles Lambert back into it. Look at this, we've got a 3-car battle for second place. About to kick off now between these three. Running as wide as you can at the exit of turn 7. Now we're going defensive. Philippe Karras, defensive into turn 8. This is the first chink in the armory then for the driver in P2. Can Casabene get down the inside in towards turn 11? The answer to that is no. Stays there in P3. Now Charles Lambert is still in touching distance, can still go for P2 here. But who out of these three will come out on top? Down in towards turn number 1. Karras, defensive. Casabene trying to throw the dummy down the inside. Not going to happen. Again in towards turn 3. Again, not close enough. The gap being closed. The door slammed shut from Philippe Karras. And all the meanwhile, Luna Flusha setting fastest lap after fastest lap is extending that gap. 3.7 seconds. Big lunge for Pip Casabene into second place, but he runs wide. And now through goes Charles Lambert, and Philippe Karras is down into P4. Maximilian Rafalak is closing in now as well, and so is Sejeleski. Nassar is there as well. Head on from Shilkunas. Gazi Motlika, unfortunately, has dropped down to 10th place. Marcus Shilkunas is up 18 positions in this one. He's in P9. Make that 19 positions. He's gaining positions lap after lap in this race, trying to close in, but this entire grid has got nothing on the Discover Your Drive Academy driver, Luna Flusha, who leads the way in this opening round. It has been a dream weekend for the Spaniard, Luna Flusha, in this opening round. What a way to start the championship. There is Marcus Shilkunas, who started this one 28th out of 28 on this grid. He is up 19 positions in this race as he hunts down Hugo Heron, who is also up 15 places in this final. Casabene there in second, who's up 13. There has been some big movers all the way throughout this as they continue to battle away here. Maximilian Rafalek now getting past Karras. He's up into P4. Big send down the inside for Karras, but it's not going to work out. Sejeleski and Rafalek closing in. But for Luna Flusha here, well, what a performance. And we're only half race distance, remember. This is only lap 14 of 22. We're a bit over half race distance. But I mean, what can you say? 8 positions gained. Has had to deal with the likes of Truly Adams, Austin Gale, Daniel Perez, Charles Lambert, Gazi Motlika, Philippe Karras, Sejeleski, Maximilian Rafalek, and has beaten all of them, has come through the field in this final and has just been absolutely on it. Here, though, the battle's still happening thick and fast, and Shilkunas is getting involved in it now. Marcus Shilkunas, there he goes, down the inside through turn 8. From the back of the grid, what can you say for Marcus Shilkunas? He gets past Hugo Heron, and he gets up into 8th place. Rafalek down to 9th. Actually, Rafalek he's got past. Hugo Heron got through as well. But up so many positions in this one, he could get on the podium here. For Marcus Shilkunas, it's definitely doable. Look at him closing in now. His next target is this. Here's the replay further back of how Philippe Karras got down the inside of Rafalek, and a big hand gesture there for Sejeleski, just getting it down the inside earlier on in this race. Big moment there, chop and shell for Sejeleski. He did start to fall down the order a little bit as drivers gained those positions through this race. Good moves from Romeo Nassar there. 6 places gained in this race. Certainly showing some fantastic form here. He's currently in P6, but does have the close company of Hugo Heron, who has gained 16 places just behind, and including that, Marcus Shilkunas just behind, who's gained 20 places in this race. The gap now increasing to just under 0.6 of a second, sorry, between second and first, as down the inside comes back Romeo Nassar on Sejeleski, and through goes Marcus Shilkunas as well. Shilkunas is now up, I think it's a P6 now, yes. No, P7 still behind Hugo Heron. Both of them gaining those positions. George Nassar now with the fastest lap of the race. He's making his way through the field as well. 12 positions gained. He's battling with Charlotte Page, the Australian, who's also up 12 positions in this final in P14. Down the inside, change as Marcus Schilkunis gets the move done on Hugo Heron. He's been waiting for that move for such a long time. He has just been following Hugo Heron for such a long time here. But now it's his time to take control and break away. Schilkunis, who's up 22 positions in this race after starting at the back of the grid, is using and abusing these slick tyres right to their core to try and gain these positions as he can. Romeo Nassar is the next target up the road, but has he got the time to close in? We're on lap 18 of 22 now. Time is running out for the infield drivers. Some big changes happening all the way throughout this field. For Flusha, there she is. She's had no competition in this final. That's no disregard to any other driver, but she has just been in a league of her own this weekend in the final category. Dominant performance, and she's even beaten the gap that she got yesterday. She won the final yesterday by 6.7 seconds. The current gap is 6.8 seconds. So if she thought she sent a message yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, think again. Luna Flusha is absolutely flying here in Italy at the Cremona circuit for round 1 of the Champions of the Future Academy program in 2024. The inaugural round in Alphasan saw brilliant results for so many drivers in the senior category. In the finals on day 1, it was McLaughlin and it was Peter Stiller back in Alphasan. But it's Luna Flusha in 2024 here at Cremona. Can she hold on to it? I think the answer to that could be yes. 7.1 seconds clear from this very battle here. Pip Casabene, who's just a little further up the road. This is the battle for third. Charles Lambert, Philippe Caris, who's closing in. Romeo Nassar in P5, but Marcus Schilkunis, who's right there. You can see closing in all the way from the back of the field. If Marcus Schilkunis can get on the podium here, I would be absolutely amazed. After not even finishing or starting the final yesterday after that huge crash, I thought his weekend was over. As down the inside, Philippe Caris takes it. Oh, now it's all getting wrong. It's all going wrong for the drivers. Contact between them. Oh, and round and off the track. 2 of them off the circuit here. It's all gone wrong for them. And tumbling down the order goes Charles Lambert and Romeo Nassar. And now Philippe Caris gets through into 3rd place. Gazi Motlaka there back into 4th place. Marcus Schilkunis, who was just caught out in that battle as well. He got pushed out wide as he tried to avoid it. Amazingly, he did avoid it. It's all kicked off here now. Schilkunis now under pressure once again, defending from the treble 2 of Jean-Paul Caris, who's coming through. Back comes the 2-1-3 of Maximilian Rafalik, who's trying to get involved in this battle, but he is not close enough just yet. To the outside, back to the inside on this final lap. The checker flag will be out this time for Luna Flusha, who starts the final lap of this race. There she is. She doesn't even know what's happening in the background. She has just disappeared from the rest of the field in this final. Pip Casabene is going to control 2nd place. Philippe Caris, after a superb fight, is going to control 3rd place from Gazi Motlaka. But for Luna Flusha, it was the win yesterday. The Spaniard, the female driver in the category, part of the Discover Your Drive program, the Mercedes Junior F1 driver, will come to the line. She knows it. We know it. It's a championship lead, and it's 2 finals out of 2 for Luna Flusha for Spain across the line. She takes it, and what a final that is, winning by 8 seconds, beating her final win yesterday by over 2 seconds. It is Luna Flusha on top of the world here in Italy. Pip Casabene finishes in 2nd place from Philippe Caris. Gazi Modlika back there in 4th place from Sejeleski. Heron is there in 6th place from Jean-Paul Carras in 7th, Rafalik in 8th, Henuk finishing in 9th, and George Nassar rounding out the top 10. But your top 3 at the end of that OKN senior final, it is Luna Flusha on top of the world. 8 seconds clear. She takes the win from Pip Casabene and Philippe Caras. 1, 2, 3 at the end of the weekend here for round 1 of the Champions of the Future Academy program. The live pictures from Parc Ferme. There is Luna Flusha. She's gone over the weighbridge already. Hopefully all above board. All these results are of course provisional, pending scrutineering. But what a weekend. What a weekend for Luna Flusha there. And she can celebrate. Look at the smile on her face. What a weekend. And what a season I'm sure we will see from this young lady. What a start to the season. Number 1, says Luna Flusha. And that smile says everything you need to know. Pip Casabene, after an impressive race though, 13 positions gained, will finish in P2 from Philippe Caras, who rounds out the top 3. What a final that was for that midfield section. And Luna Flusha didn't even know what was happening for most of the time. She was driving away for the majority of that one. Let's have a look at the highlights. There were many over the course of that one. Gazi Modlika, great start initially from the driver who started on pole position, just managing to break away in the early stages of that race. Had the close company of Philippe Caras in the early stages. Didn't lose any drivers in the opening few corners of that race. Everyone staying line astern for the majority of it, but it would all start to close back in as we saw Charles Lambert, who managed to hold on to that top 3 start. We saw the first change for the lead on the opening lap. Gazi Modlika at this point started to just tumble down the order a little bit, tumbled all the way down to about P10, recovered back to P4 at the end of that race as well. Had a really good run back down the inside. This was the 2-1-1 of Sejeleski, who was looking for a podium finish in these early stages, but would drop back to P5, finishing in the same starting spot. That was the same first overtake we saw for Luna Flusha, getting up into P4, then up into P3, getting down the inside of Charles Lambert. A brilliant dive in towards turn number 8. Defensive positioning from Sejeleski was not going to be enough to stop Luna Flusha, who sent it down the inside again through turn 8. And then in towards turn 11, it would be the likes of Philippe Caras who would have to deal with Luna Flusha, who got past into P1. It was at this point here now that she would just drive away from the rest of the field, and we had to entertain ourselves with the battle for second place, which raged on all the way throughout. Pip Casabene, Philippe Caras, Gazi Modlika, Sejeleski, Hugo Heron, Jean Caras, all in that battle, all the way throughout it, delivering blow after blow with overtakes into the hairpin of turn number 8. There you can see just the overtakes coming in thick and fast, back down the inside. Huge lunges for Pip Casabene, who was fighting to get through at this point. He started, remember, all the way down in the order. Started on, well, the 8th row of the grid, 15th place for Pip Casabene, and just continued to drive his way through. He wouldn't be able to catch Luna Flusha, that gap opening up to 8 seconds, but it would certainly be able to break away from Philippe Caras, who was fighting for 3rd. 1.3 seconds at the end of that one cleared, but certainly didn't make it easy for themselves, changing and chopping positions all the way throughout. And again, all down into the hairpin of turn number 8, the slipstream effect kicking in, sending it into that braking zone of turn 8 after the end of that 150-meter straight. The main overtaking opportunity on the circuit, the moves coming in thick and fast from Philippe Caras, who was trying his hardest to hold on to 3rd place. Everyone making it difficult for them. Gazi Modlika there as well. Philippe Caras there. Jean Caras, Maximilian Rafalik, who gained positions in that one. It was only when we got to the near end of the race that we really started to see some drama for this battle for 3rd place, because all the meanwhile, we had the drivers from the back of the grid starting to close in. We had the likes of Hugo Heron starting to close in. We had the likes of Marcus Shilkunis starting to close in. Unfortunately for Marcus on that last lap, he would drop down to P15. A little bit higher up on that one. He would drop down to P13. 15 positions he gained, though, throughout the race. Still a superb result for the driver from Lithuania, who didn't even manage to start his first qualifying heat today, and in the second one, tried to go for those slick tyres on the slightly drying circuit. It was at this moment here where it started to go wrong for the drivers, as again, down the inside, tyres connecting, and unfortunately for Romeo Nassar and Charles Lambert, they would be retiring from that race, and you can see the drama and the frustration on the face there of Romeo Nassar. He is not happy with Charles Lambert at all at the end of that one. The race would continue, and this was the moment that, unfortunately, Marcus Shilkunis was trying to hold on to a top 5 finish, but battling with the likes of the treble 2 of Jean Carres and Hugo Heron, it wouldn't go his way. But for Luna Flusha, for Spain, it would be a delightful weekend under no competition from the rest of the field, winning by 8 seconds. What a way to start the season in 2024 for the Champions of the Future Academy program.
Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for your senior category finalists. Please welcome onto the podium now to present the winner's trophy. In third position, it is Philippe Carras from James Guidel. They're presenting the trophies. In second position, give it up for Pip Casabene. And finally, your winner's trophy at the end of the senior category. Give it up for Spain's Luna Flusha. Trophies nice and high up in the air for me, please, drivers. Big smiles on your face for all of the photographers down there, friends and family. Brilliant to see. And if everyone would like to jump up onto that top spot of the podium, and again, James, do feel free to join them as well. Nice big smiles once again. And big congratulations to our top 3 in the senior category. Once again, dominated by Luna Flusha here in Cremona. Please give it up for your top 3 in the senior category. Luna, again, another dominant final here at Cremona. I mean, what can we say about that? The pure racing talent that you're showing this weekend is second to none.
Yeah, it was amazing. And yesterday you said today was going to rain, and it was a bit more difficult than yesterday, not winning the heats, but then in the final came through, overtake, and just won by 8 seconds, which is amazing, and very thankful to everyone who helped me, Mike, Danny, and Miguel for all the help, and all my family, of course, for all the support always.
Tough qualifying heat, but a superb final again, coming through so many positions. What was it like at the start of that one, thinking you knew you had to get past so many drivers at the start?
In the final, I just kept calm and knew in the dry I had the pace. And like I showed yesterday, I could win by a lot. So I just stayed calm, do my overtakes, and by lap 6, I was already in front. And just lap by lap, taking bigger gap, and at the end, won by more than 8 seconds, so it's amazing.
Brilliant feeling, I'm sure. We'll see you at Valencia for round 2, but what a start to the season. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Give it up for Luna Flusha, winner of the OKN Senior Final.